Well, hey there, good morning. Kaye here, back on my homestead in Tennessee after a week in Idaho, visiting my son, friends, late bloomer fans, and going to the Modern Homesteading Conference. I'll have a lot more to say about that in another video, but right now my garden took a beating. Even though my helper was here, it looks pretty bad. I just took a look at the terraces and the raised bed garden, and wow, I have so much to do. I poked my head out at 4 a.m. and it was stifling. My phone says it's 74, but it feels hotter and it's so humid. And by the way, happy 4th of July. Got my red shirt on. So I hope you're gonna have a great day. I'll try to get this up, but I'm just gonna do a quick harvest and water some very thirsty plants, and then probably that's all I'm gonna do today. If you're new here, I live on a little over 9 acres in Tennessee after living very cramped for 40 years in the big cities of New York and Los Angeles. So let's go see what we can find and take it away, Kaye. I do not know what attacked these 10 tomato plants. They were my best tomatoes. They started yellowing before I left. I took all of that off. They were sprayed with neem and watered, and I had to go. So my helper was saying they're turning yellow. What should I do? I don't know. I don't know what happened here. It looks like I've got 2 borage plants for the first time in years. At least 2. So I'm very excited about that. And most of the peppers on these 3 rows here were replaced by plants I picked up at the box stores because mine just didn't make it through that first really hot period. Egyptian spinach looks like it's doing well. That's right over here. 2 plants, and it's hyssop, borage, peppers, 1 zinnia, and whatever else is going on in there. One of the things I did not get a chance to do before I left was thin the cucumbers. This whole row is lemon cucumber and something called telegram. And I see some dead plants back there, and you know, that's one reason, because they're crowded. You should thin to 1 every 12 inches, according to the seed packet, and I didn't do that. There were about 4. It's going to take some work to clean all that up. It doesn't look like they're hurting for water. In fact, the paper's all kind of wet. So it does look like I have more ground cherry down here. I'm surprised. They're very eaten up. I've got blue spice basil, ground cherry, pepper. What have I got over there? Let's go see. This is like lace. Okay, these are tomatillo. This is very yellow. Look what I found for breakfast. Let's go see if we can get some okra. Terrace number 3, the paper is soaking wet. And why would that be? Very strange. Oh, and the weeds have taken over. Okay, this is the flower garden, and it's just one big jumble. I've got tomatoes, sunflowers, zinnias. That is one of the African marigolds. Darker green that you see, that is all very thick African marigold. So that's going to be interesting. Surrounded by weeds, of course. When push comes to shove, you've got to focus on your vegetables. I'm sure this is something I planted, but I'm not familiar with it. Spider flower, a species of Terranea. Pink queen, grandfather's whiskers, spider plant, spider legs. Here is the meadow, and it looks predominantly like black-eyed Susan, and it also looks like I missed my yarrow. Working our way down the hill here, this is my vineyard of 9 grapevines, a mixed red and white. table grapes. And I don't know if it's all the varieties. I think there's 3 or 4. But they have anthracnose in here. And one of the ways that you combat that fungal disease is selecting cultivars that are resistant to it, which I didn't know anything about when I planted them. This is what it does. Makes like a little eye. Makes a little eye looking on the grape. And then it goes to shrivel up like a raisin. So we'll see if I get anything this year. BJ has not been out of the garage in a week. Okay, there was so much yarrow in Idaho, but I didn't bring any back. I thought, I've got plenty at home. Look, it's all gone to seed. The leaves are kind of dried up. You tincture the leaves and flowers. Check out my yarrow video, medicinal plants playlist. This is Carolina horse nettle. This is in the nightshade family. There's stickers. It's very hard to pull out with your hands. I'm not even going to get into that right now. I think there's a very upset bird over there. That a cat is getting too close and a human is getting too close to their nest, which I have no idea where it is. Hey, airplane, you left something behind here. Oh, you've been at work. You are absolutely breaking the law. Look at that one. That one goes over there. And this one is still here. Long after the plane went away. They're working on the July the 4th. What you got? Don't go down there unless you want to get shocked. Go catch your thing. Uh-oh. No. 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 Danger. Danger. Be careful. BJ. No. No. Danger. Be careful. Be careful. Good girl. Walk away. Go back to the meadow. Yeah, go back to the meadow. Yeah, good girl. Go back to the meadow. Go. Apple trees just can't fight the cedar rust here. And if I'd known about that before I planted these, I would have gotten cultivars that fight that. Might as well take this tree out. This looks like Queen Anne's lace or possibly poison hemlock. I don't know. There's a way to tell. I'll have to check on that. Got some branches down. Wow, look at that yellow on that tomato. And it's got big tomatoes on it. That is so crazy. What is that? I worked on these 31 tomatoes before I left. Got them all picked up, tied up. Well, this is on the wire. That's not good. Okay, let's turn this off. Okay. Now we don't have to worry. Wow, look at those sunflowers. That's a cheery sight. Hey. Hey. Just settle down, will you? Gotta pick some beans. Those birds are angry, leave them alone. So this is the Hutterite bean, and it's an heirloom. And it's very prolific. Look at this. It puts out lots of beans. I usually let it dry, but this time I'm gonna pick them fresh and can them if I have enough. And I'm just trying to get the ones that are super white, because this is a white creamy chowder bean. Plants are very susceptible to disease, but you know, they still put out. I probably should be a little bit more gentle harvesting. It's so loaded that it just falls over. If you wait till they're dry, you know, it's very quick to harvest. When you pull the bean off, you want to get that top little thing so that it break it up here. If you snap it off here, the plant doesn't know it's gone and doesn't keep producing. Someone told me. I used to just carefully take it off, but you know, my feeling is this is an early bean, and it's already so bug-eaten. Even though I did spray it with neem and Captain Jack's, the bugs are still just relentless. Let's open one up. See what it looks like. Oops. Wow. Aren't those beautiful? Pearly white. If you've never grown beans before, you know, when they start really forming like that, and you can see the bean inside, that's too late to eat the shell. And this particular bean, when it gets pure white, when the outside gets pure white, they're ready. I picked a few of those too soon. They're really mad. The birds are really mad. I know. They're mad. Okay? Okay, everyone, that is what we call a mess of beans. That should make me a decent sized pot. Just wanted to give you a peek inside my archway trellis, growing loofah and a lot of volunteers and a lot of weeds. But look at this. Oh my word. Look at all these things hanging down. Wow. This is the absolute best way to grow loofah. I don't even want to walk through there, all those weeds. Okay, I did not have a chance to teach my helper about okra, and these short plants are loaded, and many of them are too big now to eat, so I'm going to go through the whole row and clean it up, harvest the good ones, and the rest go into the compost. If you've never picked okra, you want gloves and sleeves. This is itching all the way up. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about okra when I came down here. But the first round, you know, when the plant is short, it puts out its first two, one or two, usually two. And you don't pick that, it puts out two more. So these are half just now. The second round was half as big as this one. So if it gets over 3 inches, you don't want to eat it. It's crunchy. If it crunches, you don't want to eat it. You could use it for something, but just in general, I just chop and drop all the long ones, except I save seed. So I have saved at least a half a dozen really big ones, and they will stay on the plant until the pods are dry. So they get big and plump. You know, the silks are already kind of dried up, so I don't think there's any more pollination going to take place there. The storm did a bit of damage on it, but let's walk through the other cornfield. These are the peas, my family heirloom peas, the wild goose pea. They look fabulous. And I just love that I have flowers. Volunteer zinnias and touch-me-not. Okay, I'm covered in pollen. You see that? Ooh, it's covering the... Wow. Did you know that every kernel on a cob of corn has to be dusted with pollen? Every silk is connected to where the kernel develops. And if the silk, if that dust does not touch every single silk on the corn, there will not be a kernel. Is that amazing? Okay, I couldn't really see the tag. I think these are Garryocena. And I'm taking them, there's a lot of squash bugs. And I'm taking them before they get destroyed. This is the first Amish paste. And these are tie-dye. Well, I didn't thin the sunflowers, so I guess they'll just have to do what they do. And these are the sweet potatoes. Yeah, that's a ground cherry, thankfully. I was thinking it was the other poison plant. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. I hope you subscribe to my channel, click the bell for notifications, scroll down and click all so you won't miss an episode. See you next time. God bless. So I just went over and picked some mullein flowers. These are good. You can make cough syrup. You can make earache oil. I have a video on mullein earache oil, how to make it. I'll put the link above.